The video ecosystem needs to evolve to meet the rise in mobile video traffic. So we've already seen from the Cisco VNI forecast that approximately 72% of the mobile network is going to be video in 2016, which essentially means that we're building 4G is going to be a video network. So it needs to be optimized for video, which means that we need to have the content providers, the CDN providers, and the mobile operators working together to ensure that we can deliver a cost-effective mobile video solution for the customer. Caching still needs to evolve in terms of an industry as a whole. That's both caching solutions for mobile and content delivery network and the way that their caches work. So there's obviously geographical options, so you could move a cache out to the edge. There's solutions being developed on that. There are a number of challenges when you start to move caches towards the edge. Simple one, the amount of people in a cell watching the same content means it's kind of diminishing returns. You've also got thousands of sites with limited space and power to put caches on. So you could see a model where they're built into the Bs, for instance, and so that's being looked at. I think one of the big challenges, and it really needs to be addressed, is the fact that at the moment you need to be after the P gateways and the GGSNs, because that's where you're billing, your content filters, your regulatory requirements. So we still need that feedback loop, because we still have to understand what the customer is, what they're watching, what they've paid for, and be able to do that, which doesn't work at the moment without that feedback loop from the edge. I think we're going to have a best of breed, which means that the edge caching, content caching in general, some of the new mobile broadcasting technologies, as well as our standard capacity. So we need to gain analytics to understand exactly what is driving the capacity on that cell site. So if, for instance, we have reached a capacity threshold, we need to understand what's driving that. If it's a lot of, say, Netflix, BBC content, that's similar, so a lot of people are watching the same stuff, and that's driving the capacity, then a caching solution at the edge would certainly address backhaul constraints. But then you might look at a broadcast solution if it's linear TV. And then we need to understand what the best model is for a capacity upgrade. Adaptive bitrate has a big role to play, not only in terms of customer experience, but also in terms of cost to serve. So it's been shown and proven that buffering is the worst experience in video from a customer's point of view. So watching at a lower resolution when there's congestion is far more acceptable than having any kind of buffering at all. It really ruins the experience, as we kind of all know. In fact, customers would prefer to keep the audio and lose a picture over buffering. So we need to sort of promote the use of adaptive bitrate, and then it's a tool in the network to ensure that we still deliver a cost-effective experience whilst maintaining the quality. I think if I knew the answer right now, I could retire. However, it's the big challenge is people take the broad brushstroke approach. So back when we were talking about monetization of content, it was okay. Well, why don't we make Google pay to prioritize YouTube? And it was an example, but you can't prioritize everything. And if you've got 72% of video, then you can't. If you prioritize too much, you've got best effort. So we see, and the industry generally sees, 15% of prioritization is about right, and then you leave the rest to best effort. So that's so you need to be careful how you use that. That's a really expensive expensive commodity. So it's a really valuable commodity, that piece of that 15% prioritization. So we have a cost to serve for that. It's a lot more expensive to prioritize traffic. But in terms of the value of that, the value of content is set by the content provider and their customers. So in order to monetize video, we need to have a content provider saying that this video is really important to me and my customers. And then that's how you start to have the negotiation. If it's important enough and during busy hour, and we can work with that 15%, then that's where the revenue share will come in.